A one-size-fits-all system is not working, and there's no point saying it is working, and we've seen that over the last number of months. The challenges for people to work through all the criteria is creating a system that just isn't operational. Can I suggest that you would be better to come from the other side, the side of the citizen, and maybe look from it at that side? That would be an approved mortgage, and the state would support the purchase by taking a share based on the balance of the payment. I am well aware of people who didn't meet the limit for the social housing, unfortunately can't get a mortgage to get on the affordable housing ladder. So where does that leave them? They're caught in the middle, and where does it leave them? It's leaving them staying at home with their parents, unfortunately, and cannot get an affordable house. So maybe you come in on that point.
There are people for whom there is just a gap between the mortgage that they can afford to repay and the price of housing in their area, and the First Home Scheme and the Local Authority Affordable Purchase Scheme are working to bridge that gap for those people. There are also a number of people for whom the availability of a mortgage is a challenge. Local authorities can make available mortgages, the local authority home loan, to people who could maybe fund a mortgage and have been turned down by the retail banks. And people should always think about turning to the local authority to consider whether or not they may be eligible for a local authority home loan as an alternative. Otherwise, there are options for people to purchase older, vacant, derelict properties and avail of the grant that's available to the state, from the state, to make those homes habitable. It's a very generous grant of 50,000 or 70,000 if the home is derelict at the moment, which can assist. Further to that, also, there are the cost rental schemes. So cost rental schemes being supplied by the LDA, by the approved housing bodies and by some local authorities are targeting the delivery of homes at rents that are 20, 30, up to 33, 35% below market rates, which often provides a very, very affordable rental to those households that are challenged to be able to afford a mortgage.
I have seen people to the local authority, and the criteria is something similar as going to the bank or going to wherever they're going to get their loan, unfortunately. So that's not a winner for them. Again, we'd all love to see them getting on the housing market. I would be looking, could it be looked coming down the citizens' way instead of coming up from the other side? I know a number of people have in the big amount of affordable houses built in our county, but unfortunately the building contractors are finding it hard them to move on some of the affordable houses because the people in the bracket that qualified for them, unfortunately, are held to come with the loan. As regards the second-hand houses, in your communities, you mentioned the second-hand houses, almost impossible to buy. And some of them, unfortunately, because of the vacant house grant, they're actually making bigger money than the new houses. So, again, where can they go to in this situation? And I do appreciate what you're trying to do and what the department are trying to do to help people getting on the housing market. But, unfortunately, we still have a serious issue out there.
There is another scheme that I should have mentioned, Deputy, and there are local authorities that are making available sites. Serviced sites on the edges of towns around the country, and they can make those sites available, they're fully serviced, that people can then self-build in close proximity to all the services of the town, but a home that they can afford to build themselves. So that's another one of the options that is available to people that maybe people mightn't have been aware of.
I'm well aware of that scheme as well, and unfortunately we've one of those schemes that started 12 months ago back in our county, little or no progress. So how do we drive on them schemes? And it is actually a good scheme where people can buy a service site and build a house on it. So where is the finances? How can we drive on them schemes? And they're actually a good idea.
We're constantly considering how to modify and improve our schemes and to try to make them more efficient and more effective in terms of meeting the needs. So all of that is under consideration at the moment in the new housing plan.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.